Well, it's that time of year again. Kids are going back to school, and there's a lot of new drivers out there. So this is a really good time to think about keeping it safer with Schaefer. John Schaefer right here. Good to see you always, John.
Good to see you, yeah.
All right, run us through this thing, because I know it's not necessarily a surprise, but this can sneak up on you pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kids right now, they're getting their driver's license. They may have had driver's ed during the summer.
Sure.
And you got to notify your insurance agent. So if you're a permitted driver, we have to know about it. So make sure and call your agent. Even if they got that permit and they really don't have their real license yet, we have to add them to the policy to be covered.
I would imagine so. If they're getting behind the wheel and pressing that gas pedal, you better cover them.
Right. And then with the new age now, a lot of people have after school jobs, and we've seen a big uplift in those things as far as Uber, delivering pizzas, Lyft. You need to make sure you're covered. So make sure and call your agent, tell them what your kid or yourself, maybe you do Lyft on the side while your kid's at school.
Right.
We have to know that because you have to be insured properly. If you're not insured properly, you could have an accident, and then the company could deny the claim.
What about things like carpooling?
Yeah.
Do you need to talk to your agent
I
about
would
things
talk to my
like
agent,
that?
especially if you've got 4 or 5 kids that are riding with your kid. You want to make sure and carry the higher limits. So we recommend the 250, 500, and also add a $1 million umbrella. So that way you're covered.
Okay, so you want to cover everybody, in other words.
Yep, correct.
All right, what are some of the other things that people really need to be thinking about?
You really got to think about as far as like your bodily injury coverage, especially if you have a young driver and they have an accident in today's world. There's a lot of cars out here, Tesla truck, $150,000, regular Teslas. Several cars now these days are $40,000 to $50,000. So if you don't have enough coverage on your insurance policy and you do have an accident, then you're responsible for that and you could get sued for that.
Yeah, and I know this is a time also, you have new drivers, and they're not aware of sometimes, the reactions and what people are doing. It can be a little confusing and it produces anxiety too.
Right.
So you have to keep all of that in mind.
Right. So before making a choice, make sure you can reach out to myself. I shop a lot of people's insurance. And what we try to do is bundle your insurance. We shop it around with the different companies that we have.
Yeah.
One key point I always tell people, maintain a good credit, good payment history, and make sure you don't have lapse in your insurance.
Yeah, that you kind of start all over again,
That's right.
don't you?
And then work with an agent like myself to customize your policy.
And that's something I know we've talked about a couple of times. There is a big plus with working with an agent such as yourself.
That's right.
Because it's not just a cookie cutter thing.
That's right.
You shop around is what you do.
That's right. So I shop around, find you the best rate, and we'll get you going.
What kind of time lapse? I mean, if people are already starting school, it's not too late to jump in, is it?
No, we can shop your stuff today. If you call us today, we'll get you knocked out in 24 hours.
Pretty simple.
Yep.
All right, tell them again how they get a hold of you, John.
So they can call me at 417-766-4689, or they can scan the QR code that pops up there on the screen, and we'll get you squared away.
All right, pretty cool.
Thanks.
So whether it's you're just going back to school or everyday life, the idea is keep it safer with Schaefer.